What if this world is actually one giant prison? When the 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer observed the amount of pain that we experience during our lifetimes, he concluded that it's not happiness and pleasure we're after, but a reduction of the ongoing suffering that's an inherent part of existence. When looking through the grim lens of Schopenhauer's philosophy as he compares this world to a prison, or more specifically to a penitentiary, we start to see some astounding similarities. As is the case with prison, no one in general chooses to be here. We can't leave until our
specific targeted individuals in such a scenario.
We're limited by the walls of time closing in on us.
Specific target.
Each day brings us closer to death. And within the confines of our limitations, we generally experience a stream of suffering, tragedy, worry, and misery. We desperately go from one pleasure to another, just to experience temporary relief from pain. In the process, the organisms that inhabit the earth, driven by what Schopenhauer called will to live, feed on each other in an attempt to survive, just so they can prolong their miserable lives a bit longer. Like prison gangs, the species of the world are entangled in a continual war for dominance. Eat or be eaten seems to be nature's order when we look at how plants, as well as certain animals, only serve as food for other animals who themselves succumb to the destructive presence of human beings. Humanity, in turn, while exploiting its own members and draining its natural habitat of resources, falls prey to some kind of disease or disaster. When we remove the veil of ignorance and behold the harsh reality we live in, we might start to question, as Schopenhauer does, the idea that, I quote, "This world is the successful work of an all-wise, all-good, and, at the same time, all-powerful being," end quote. For Schopenhauer's view of the world is one of agony, devoid of divine grace, and it has much more in common with a penal colony than with the creation of a benevolent deity. Now, seeing the world as a prison sounds like a recipe for personal misery. Why not adopt a more positive, more hopeful perspective? Why look at it with such pessimism? Well, Schopenhauer's idea comes with a twist. Within his pessimistic worldview lies an outlook that could be very beneficial to humanity. Based on his essay on the sufferings of the world, this video explores Schopenhauer's pessimistic outlook on life and reveals a secret to be gained from it. Schopenhauer stated that, as opposed to what many people think, not pleasure, but pain is the positive element of existence. He argued that evil is what makes its existence felt, and is, by way of that, positive. Good, on the other hand, is negative. It is but the removal of disturbance. The state of happiness and contentment is nothing more than a desire fulfilled.
And then the Bible says this man was
So
in his
the
right
experience of pain
mind.
is the source of our desires and needs. Hunger, for example, is a state of discomfort, which has the potential of becoming painful, that leads us to desiring food. Thus, eating is not a positive experience, as it's only considered pleasurable because it
But when you
fulfills a
come to
desire
Christ
that is
and you
derived
begin to
from
see
pain,
the world
or
through
a
the
sense of
eyes
lack.
of God,
According to Schopenhauer,
you
pain
don't go
far
around
outweighs
wringing
pleasure
your
in this
hand
world,
and saying
and the
what's
pleasure
going
we
to happen,
incur
what's
is
going
often
to
less
happen.
pleasurable